There's a place in the Southwest where the earth looks like it's been stress tested by time itself, where stone pillars rise like frozen lightning bolts, and every canyon feels like it's holding a secret it refuses to explain. A place that doesn't just sit quietly on a map, it dominates it. That place is Chiricahua National Monument. Located in southeastern Arizona, United States, on the southwestern side of North America, this monument sits in a transition zone where desert heat, mountain air, and volcanic history all collide like competing business units fighting for control of the same ecosystem. And what you get from that clash is not subtle at all. It's dramatic, sculpted chaos that looks almost engineered, but is entirely natural. Now imagine this. You're driving through the Arizona high desert, expecting the usual flat, dusty horizon, standard expectations, predictable output. But then the landscape starts upgrading itself without warning. Hills begin to rise. Rock formations stack like unstable architecture. And suddenly, you're inside something that feels less like Earth and more like a simulation running a terrain experiment at maximum complexity. That's Chiricahua. This entire monument is basically the remains of a massive volcanic eruption that happened around 27 million years ago. A supervolcano blew its top. Ash and pumice spread everywhere. And over time, nature did what it always does when given enough time and pressure. It refined chaos into structure. Wind, water, and erosion acted like relentless engineers, carving out tall, thin spires called hoodoos. The result is a landscape that looks intentionally designed for cinematic impact, but was actually built by geological persistence and randomness working in perfect sync. The locals and early Apache people called this region the land of standing up rocks. And honestly, that name is still accurate in a very literal sense. You're not just looking at rocks here, you're looking at vertical ambition, columns that look like they're mid-transformation, like they're still becoming something. What makes Chiricahua National Monument different from other scenic parks is the density of visual information. Most landscapes give you one dominant feature: mountains, forests, deserts. Here, everything is layered. You've got basalt columns, rhyolite pinnacles, narrow canyons, and sky islands all stacked into one continuous visual feed. It's like nature refused to optimize for simplicity and instead went full complexity mode, and the ecosystem responds accordingly. Even though it's Arizona, this isn't just desert. It's a sky island environment, meaning higher elevations trap moisture and create pockets of biodiversity that feel completely out of place compared to the surrounding desert lowlands. You'll find pine forests, oak woodlands, and wildlife that doesn't behave like it should in Arizona at all. Deer move through shaded trails. Birds echo between rock walls. Silence is not empty here. It's structured. Hiking through Chiricahua is where the real operational shift happens. The trails don't just take you from point A to B. They reframe your sense of scale. One moment, you're walking between balanced rocks that look like they could collapse from a strong opinion. And the next, you're standing at an overlook where entire valleys open up like a data visualization of geological time. The Echo Canyon Loop is one of the most iconic routes, and it feels like walking through a natural labyrinth designed for slow psychological recalibration. Narrow passageways open suddenly into massive amphitheaters of stone. Shadows shift constantly, reshaping the terrain's personality depending on the time of day. Morning feels soft and exploratory. Midday feels exposed and raw. Sunset? That's when the whole place turns into a high-impact visual asset. Gold light bouncing off stone spires like a coordinated lighting strategy. From a forward-thinking perspective, Chiricahua is basically a masterclass in long-term transformation. Nothing here is static. Everything is in slow-motion redesign. The rocks are still eroding. The canyons are still deepening. The landscape is still actively iterating on itself, just on a timescale humans struggle to perceive. And that's the interesting contrast. Humans move in deadlines. Nature moves in epochs. Chiricahua National Monument doesn't care about urgency. It operates on geological patience. There's also a cultural layer that can't be ignored. The Chiricahua Apache people lived in and moved through these mountains long before they became a protected monument. For them, this wasn't just scenery. It was strategic terrain, shelter, identity, and survival infrastructure. The rocks weren't just formations. They were landmarks, defense systems, and storytelling anchors. Today, when you walk those same paths, you're essentially stepping through a multi-layered archive, geological history on top of human history, both compressed into one physical environment. Wildlife here plays its own quiet role in the system. Coatundis, deer, javelinas, and a wide range of birds operate like background processes in a living network. You might not always see them, but you know they're there, moving through the ecosystem with efficiency and intent. The elevation shift also matters more than people expect. As you climb higher into the monument, the air cools, the vegetation changes, and the landscape starts to feel less like Arizona desert and more like a mountain ecosystem borrowed from another region. It's a natural example of vertical zoning, one of those environmental concepts that sounds academic until you physically experience it and realize the terrain is literally switching biomes as you gain altitude. And then there's the silence. Not empty silence, structured silence, the kind that feels intentional. In many parts of Chiricahua, sound doesn't disappear, it gets absorbed. Rocks dampen echoes, forest patches filter wind, distance reshapes perception. It creates an environment where your internal noise becomes more noticeable than the external world. That's part of why visitors often describe it as grounding, not in a cliché sense, but in a recalibration sense. The monument forces a cognitive slowdown. You stop optimizing, you start observing. From a macro perspective, Chiricahua National Monument sits at a fascinating intersection of geology, ecology, and cultural memory. It's not just a destination, it's a layered system of time, pressure, and adaptation. Every formation you see is the result of failure and persistence interacting over millions of cycles until something stable, but still fragile, emerged. And even that stability is temporary, because nothing here is finished. The rocks are still changing, the land is still adjusting, the ecosystem is still negotiating its boundaries. So when you stand in Chiricahua, you're not looking at a completed product. You're looking at an ongoing project, one that started millions of years ago and will continue long after any human timeline loses relevance. And that's the real takeaway. This isn't just a monument. It's a live system update that never stops running.